Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominions 5. I'm the False God. We are playing today as Pangea in our Disciples game. We are on turn 21. We're currently in that lull period between when expansion ends and getting into the first war. We pick up gold and nature gems from our teammates. We found the first gate. Blood magic bonus 10. We are a blood nation. This is potentially very useful. Now, 10% is not a ton. It's helpful, but it's not like finding a blood 20 or a blood 30. And we also, I believe, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so this would be nice. We're gonna need our teammates really though to come and help us out on the fort construction because it's just going to be outrageously expensive for us to do. We just don't have the money, especially right now as we're potentially looking to get into this conflict. We do not have time to build a fort here. We also don't have a blood economy right now, so it doesn't have to be in a huge hurry, but we'd like to get there eventually. We also found, I think this is another Earth. Yep, another Earth. Satis pings a throne that I already pinged, but that's okay. We definitely do not have perfect coordination. We get a battle underwater, where I'm sure that the shipwreckers will kill everybody because they are an insane mercenary unit. They lost a couple, it looks like, but they easily win. Ubar got them. Yeah. And then we have some heroes fight us. And then the gate obviously gets announced to everybody as well. The dark flux of energy, whatnot. We get attacked by these independents. Got to back up our trusty heroes. Now, this is not a whole lot of hideous crossbreeds we actually have to fight. It's a pretty small number. I'm not sure who here's a commander. The Darkvines is the commander, which is a little unfortunate. That's the one that's most likely to sort of stick around. It is a lot more HP. Our little bear warrior. Deer tribe. Oof. Deer tribe warriors are not known for their hardiness. All right, adventurers, time to do your jobs. Minotaur, you can whack as well. Protection coming out. The Minotaur is now angry. Getting through it. Kind of speed this up. So they rout, except for the Darkvines, who then fights the Minotaur, who does a really good job. The Darkvines at 3 and then gets stabbed by a deer tribe. And so we managed to take this fight. We only lost PD. And it's, yeah, we got 5 adventurers, which is pretty nice. So this one, while we obviously already have nature, we do not have a healer. This is just a pure healer. So that's pretty great. That's unique for us. The rest of these guys are not super impactful. This one's an assassin who can scale walls, which is nice. We obviously have a lot of assassins already, but it's something. What we're mainly going to be using these guys for probably is just some extra commanders to do fairy blood slaves or to hold on to blood hunting troops. So they're definitely helpful. It does cost. They do cost upkeep, I think. So they're kind of expensive for that purpose. Maybe it would be better to get them killed off, but obviously not the mage. Although she's very expensive. 140, is that a lot? How much these guys cost? A huge amount. Yeah, 260. But compared to, like, these guys are sacred. Yeah, I mean, it costs the upkeep of 3 of these. So we got them though, whether we want them or not at this point. We're going to go ahead and keep sending our scouts to try and figure out exactly what's going on down here. You can see there's 30 Oreopoda sort of out and about. See, Micklin, it looks like they're blood hunting here. right on the border. Priest of the Sun. Let's see, do we have anything cool we're doing? Building a lab. Yeah, we're building a lab here. We're going to look to grow another fortress. So that's good, but that's pretty much it. We're still sort of waiting for this to get started. So looking at this coming from later, is there anything I should be doing differently? We don't have any construction yet, so there's no real gear to be purchased. We have no money, so we're sort of recruiting what we can. I decided that extra white centaur could be more valuable than trying to afford extra pans right now. We just don't really have the gold to justify more pans. They're just too expensive. So let's go ahead and jump to 22. There, it's nice having, recruit anywhere giant mages. Or not giant mages, but your big, strong, powerful mages. But they are, when they're not sacred, woof, they are expensive. Here's 1,500 gold coming from Satis. Which we're going to be able to put to use. And then this goofball, Agartha, has put up Mother Oak before us. This is outrageous, by the way. Cannot be allowed to stand. Pangea is going to get Mother Oak one way or another. I'm not going to let some goofball Agarthans take my Mother Oak. This is actually, well, one of the rare times you see the shipwreckers get defeated, but they're going against this Anuki province, so not terribly surprising in general. Pretty strong. We got elementals. The Anuki jumps in. Swarm is coming out. They killed a pair of lions and a couple ogres, but we were going to lose them anyway, so happy enough to get them. Nobody else, needs to be able to have access to those. And then some Ettins attack Helheim Blues. Okay. And Baratos is dead. So, again, I think that when we saw them on Baratos' capital is when we were told, hey, you should go and fight Vanheim, right? They're already dead. They spent all their money on a big PD dump. Yada, yada, yada. We can see the god Baratos has not died until, turn 22. It's been like 7 or 8 turns or something. So, I think, the cause of Baratos' death may have been a touch premature. And perhaps, the intentions of Agartha and them were a little bit less honorable than, or charitable perhaps than originally indicated, which is not, obviously it's not surprising. That's how Dominions works. Just sort of funny. With that said, still moving. We're still just recruiting up. We don't really see any bats anywhere yet. We're moving some more spies to see what's up. I think at this point, again, Roos was like, we're going to put up Mother Oak unless you're going to put up Mother Oak. We just don't want Agartha to have Mother Oak. And I said, oh, I'm going to put up Mother Oak. And I do intend to. It looks like it's going to take us 2 turns to get Alteration finished. And then we're going to need to get 1 Nature booster from a teammate because it is Nature 5 and we only have Nature 4. Unless we get it's not even a 10% random, right? It's higher than that. It's a 10% random of 3. So only 3% of pans will have Nature 5. And we don't have any Nature 5s yet. So we will need to get a Thistle Mace from one of our teammates who has access to construction and nature, which can only be Satis. Especially, I don't remember if his disciple has nature or not, but they're currently dead, so it's not gonna help us. Besides that, we miss on a bunch of magic sites. We found a new magic site, the Hoburg Settlement. Which doesn't help us at all. It increases growth, which we already had growth. No, we only had growth 2, so that actually is not nothing. Now, it's kind of nothing on a population of 2,200. Also, I apparently forgot to put PD in it. I should really fix that. But it is what it is. So we're still sort of becalmed here. Let's go to 23. We definitely should have acted faster. It's tougher, you know, when you're only playing with a single. Obviously, when you're playing by yourself, you can sort of make your decision and move. When you're playing, was that 22 already? I think that was already. You're already in 22, yeah. When you've got teammates, right? It's everything just takes a little bit longer, right? People, you deliberate. You don't know what they're doing. You can't act all by yourself, and so it just takes a little bit. There's a little bit more friction, a little bit more inertia to actually doing things, and I think that slowed us down. Whereas you can see, it clearly doesn't slow everybody down. Agartha managed to get into a fight super early. 400 more gold and Owl Quill. We grew another fortress. We found a mercury pond, which is 2 water gems. Our income now is very good nature, unsurprisingly, and then pretty mediocre everything else. We still have no fire. And then we got 200 gold from Pangea and 2 nature gems. So we're trying to finish up alt this turn. We're just short of finishing alt this turn, and I don't. I think I just moved these guys when I clicked, right? No, maybe not. You can see we're marshaling out. We're sending out this pan with 3 dryads and about 70 centaur. He's going down here. Here we've got another 40 units, 40 centaur, who are mobilizing downwards, and then here another 23 centaur. So we're emptying the vault of centaur, such as it were, to head down. And I decided that it was more worth it to get this started than to try and hang on to get that extra turn of research in to get alt 5 this turn. We'll get it next turn, or the turn after. Now, part of that too is that in terms of casting Mother Oak, I believe that Satis does not have Construction 2 yet. So he is not quite ready to actually give us the Thistle Mace. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We can see from scouting, we got 110 bats here. We got a small number of bats here. We have not really seen any blood hunting operations yet. We got more scouts, sort of looking around. In terms of what Xibalba can have for us to have to fight. Right, they've got bats. Their troops are not good. They've got these sacred guys who are going to have particularly trouble against us, as our bless only counter sacreds, but the bats in general cannot stand up to the centaur at all, and I expect would be thoroughly crushed. So they're going to have to win with either blood summons, which are Ocelotls, which I don't think we've seen the infrastructure for them yet. So I don't think those can be online. And mages. Now, they've got some great mages. The question is, what research do they have, right? They probably, to really fight us, they would need Enchantment 5. They could be researching much better than us. Pangea is not a great research nation. So they certainly could have Enchantment 5. To get like Horde of Skeletons. But they also probably want some blood. So depending on how they're splitting their priorities, they may not have access to it yet. I think in general, though, it's too early for their sacreds to really be online to stop us, and that our troops will absolutely run over their troops. They just don't have enough meat to hang on with the centaur, especially with our alt 5 buffs. So we are marshaling downwards. Don't think we're doing anything else cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump to 24, and we'll probably stop it at 24. Hopefully the war begins at 25 and we can build some suspense. More money from Satis. We found an oasis, which is water gems, which is nice. Satis goes ahead and takes out this throne battle, or takes out this throne. He's got a lot of independent archers and heavy infantry and mercenaries and his god. This is not necessarily a particularly effective throne for archers. I mean, obviously he has so many that they're going to be able to do some decent work. But it's not like entirely made up of people who are lacking in armor. Mind Burns coming out, Raise Dead coming out. Nothing too impressive from the indie commanders. He's got Sacred Serpents too. Go ahead and fast forward. Mostly the heavy infantry, though, are going to be better than this heavy infantry. And they're going to pretty much charge through. So, that's all well and good. Take out these archers. Yada, yada, yada. He loses 21 heavy infantry. 3 Sacred Serpents. You know, we're on the verge of war, but it's nice to get a throne, and it is the outer throne, which is magic +1, which does not help us. But it spreads Dominion, and 3 Astral Pearls is nice. So, good to have it. We pick up some Dominion and some gems, which are nice. A large spider gets killed by Asahir. And we lose our Black Harpy to some Xibalbans, who are, you know, I would say they're blood hunting, but they're not, because they don't have a mage there. So I don't know what these guys are doing. They're evidently patrolling. Maybe there was just unrest here for some reason. But we do lose a scout there. So with that scout, the jig is not necessarily up. Ooh, there's a god. We'll look at that in a second. But it certainly could be up. Every time you find... what's this battle? Zib fights a whole bunch of priests. Oh, and then Femoria, I think, gets patrolled out. Yeah. But in any event, the key thing, we're attacking, is what really is relevant here. We can see Sorrow took this throne and has a great big stack of 110 Oreopatas, Warrior Sorceresses, and Cataphracts. So we are very ready to start this attack. We're gonna hit all these provinces. So that's 5. That's okay. We could hit more. Or like a better player perhaps could have hit more, you know, but we just don't have anybody else sort of ready to hit here. And the other thing is we want to mostly hit and be in range of the capital. We don't want to wait too long. I don't want to like hit all around them and like dodge a battle on the capital. We want to try and take Xibalba out as quickly as possible, so that we can then turn and assist our allies in their fights. Because I think that we thought that Zib is probably the weakest, just from like a troop perspective, and they probably don't have quite enough mages yet to really turn the tide. We did finish Alt 5. And then we're researching construction as well. But this Alt 5 is everything we could want. It's got Mother Oak. It's got Wooden Warriors, which is big for us. They could have some fire, so that's, you know, we could be injuring ourselves a little bit there, but so be it. Maws, if we need it, can be very large in helping us out. And then again, Swarm is quite nice for dealing with, for helping our assassins, our dryads. And then we're going to go up construction to get our gear going and get Legions of Steel. So we're looking to do a big alpha strike. Unfortunately, we can't see our teammates' moves, but we know that they are getting ready as well. Certainly, I believe Ubar is. Satis, I think, has to move this stack somewhere. So the main danger that I can see at present, one, there's a god here. Serpent of the Underworld. I don't think with their bless that this is going to be a huge challenge for us, but if it's backed up enough, it could be. But our real threat, I think, is this stack from Sorrow. So there's a couple of things this can do, right? It can attack into Satis. It can stay where it is to try and build a fort here on this throne. It can attack into us to try and relieve Xibalba. Or it can attack into us and try and head for Pangaea in sort of a diversionary, not diversionary because it is a real threat, but try and force us to pull back. The third scenario is what I'm most worried about. The first two I'm less worried about. Satis has got a decent sized army. Should hopefully be able to defend these forts okay. Sorrow might decide to maintain this position. They may also decide, if Satis starts tromping downwards, that they need to take this force and head back and defend homeland. So it sort of depends what they do. Mictlan is more isolated, I think. So Ubar should be able to sort of have their way with them on their own. But it depends. Like Sorrow could have big armies somewhere around here. They don't here, I guess we can see, and that'd be the most likely place they would have it, but you never know. So yeah, next turn begins our war with Team Blood. We are taking the first strike, so hopefully we can sort of roll that into a big win. So yeah, plenty more troops and mages heading out. I kind of forgot gems, so we're sneaking out a bunch of gems. And mages and etc. So thanks everybody for joining me. Next time we will see the beginning of our war with Xibalba. So thanks for joining me and have a nice day.